All right, there we go. Hello everyone, how's it going? Team here, and this is BXJS Livestream. And today we are going to be revisiting our web components web app that was not really web components. So this stream basically comes out because some of you were like, hey, you did this stencil stream and it was supposed to be web components, but it actually wasn't web components or wasn't purely web components because you used a framework that did a lot of stuff for you, which technically is correct, right? So I thought, fine, let's address it. I am actually curious myself as to how good the modern vanilla JavaScript experience is. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to build the exact same app we did last time using Stencil, but we are going to build it without any frameworks and without any bundlers. So it's going to be pure vanilla JavaScript, no bundlers, no frameworks, no special dev tools. I hope, there's a few caveats that I have to address during the stream. I think I know how to resolve them, but we're going to see how that goes. But basically the gist is we're going to build the same node management web app with pure JavaScript without any bundling, tooling, whatever. We might add bundling at the end to optimize it, but we're going to see how that goes, basically. So that's the idea of it. We are going to use the same repo, but we're just going to change the branch, and then I'm going to change the master branch to address both of them in README, and that's basically the plan. Hey, Gregorz, welcome to the stream. All right, so as I've said, we're going to work on the same repo, so I'm going to go ahead and create a branch called Stencil. Right, and that is gonna be push -u origin stencil. So this is gonna be our branch with the old code we had. So it's just, so that we can use the master branch to actually address it. And then we're gonna get checkout -b. Let's call it vanilla. And that is gonna be our current branch where we're gonna work on whatever we're doing right now. Okay, I should probably dog that stuff correctly. There we go. That looks good. Hey, this is Obi. Welcome to the stream. All right, and because we're doing vanilla, we're actually not going to be needing a whole ton of the stuff we have here right now, which means we can start removing things. Okay, first of all, these folders we don't need. tsconfig we don't need. Yes, remove it. Stencil we don't need. Okay, let me think. Package. Okay, I'm gonna kill package log. There is also npm version 7 released, right? So I wanna give it a shot basically and figure out how better or worse is it than what do you call it? Than Yarn under the current version. Okay, so license it's okay. Package JSON is fine. We do have to edit this whole thing. So we do need Graffiti here because we do need a backend. We do need Mongo, but we don't need any of that. I'm gonna leave the start script because we are gonna need some sort of a dev server here. So we're gonna just leave it empty for now. And this is gonna be vanilla.js web components app. Right. We don't need stencil. We don't need types. So I assume dev dependencies. Well, again, I said maybe we'll add the bundling at the very end, and we don't need GraphQL and GraphQL requests. So we are going to be using them from the ES modules. I hope using the CDN. So I think there was a CDNs that basically converted existing NPM packages to ES modules when they are not. So we're just going to go with that. Just finished the C class. It's a little bit painful, JS preferred. C can definitely be quite painful. I mean, there's a reason why people prefer Rust or Swift or whatever else over it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a modern language, let's put it this way. Although it still has quite a lot of users, right? Okay, so let's see. So the schema and Graffiti stays because this is our backend, essentially, right? So editor, I think I don't need editor config. I'm just going to kill it because whatever. Just make it as small as possible. Graffiti config stays. Right. README, that is fine. We're going to edit this later. And I guess I'm going to rename this to old source, right? And what we're going to do here is we're going to create the index.html. And I probably should... Oh, yeah, there is an index.html. Okay, cool. So we can actually just can probably just copy that from here, right? So this is going to be good. Yes, replace it. Yes, replace. There we go. Okay, so this is our entry point. Essentially, we're just going to be using the root folder as the app entry point. I'm going to serving some kind of server that does it. And we're going to be using this type module. So we're not going to do the no module thing at all, basically. So this is going to be just purely targeting the latest stuff. Okay, I guess let's create the source folder here. And assets, so this is fav icon, whatever. I'm just gonna use those. I think it's the stencil stuff, but that's fine. We can go with that. It's not a big deal. And manifest goes into source. So index.html should reference. So we're gonna have source app. Let's just go with app.js. We're not gonna use no module, as I said. We're gonna have source app CSS if we need it. I'm not sure if we do. So it's gonna be source assets, source manifest. That looks fine. Content, i.e. edge. Yes, that is fine. Okay, so this is, yeah, so we need to change some description later. Let's just gonna leave it at to do. And this is vanilla.js node management app, right? Okay, so this looks like a nice starting point. I guess we are going to be, since we're going to be using web components, we're going to create our own app root component, because why not? And that also means that we need our app.js entry point, right? So, okay, so this is, I guess, right. First things first. So we need to serve it with something, and then let's add some, so let's say there's a div here that says hello world, so that we can actually serve it and see that it works, right? And I also need to create app.css. Okay, there we go. Okay, what do we use to serve it? So last time we used, what was it? npx HTTP server, right? So let's use that. It seems like, right. Okay, so let me think. So first thing first, I really want to try that. So we're gonna go time yarn, and I just want to see the difference between the yarn 1x and then the npm 7 that just came out. Okay, so that took 8 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds and 3 system time, which is 8 seconds total. That's okay. So let's kill the node modules and try it again with npm install. This is npm 7, and I probably don't have cache, so we are gonna, we're gonna run it a couple of times to actually get the stuff cached and see how much time it takes. 9 seconds without cache, and I assume it's gonna be a lot faster if we have it with cache. Hey Malaf, welcome to the stream. Hey Ermic, welcome to the stream. What is the advantage of web components? Well, it's a part of the platform, so they are only gonna become better over time, essentially. Same as what is the, like it's like asking what is the advantage of HTML, So, okay, so npm install with cache takes 2 times less than yarn. That is damn impressive. Okay, I guess we're not using yarn anymore. Like, this is really awesome. Okay. I am extremely impressed. So, okay, let me kill the package lock again, and we are gonna, yes, npm install just to regenerate the log file, because I know that it uses the yarn lock if it's there. Hey, Johnny Mnemonic, welcome to the stream. All right, so we got that. We got the new package lock, all nicely shaped. And we needed to install, what was it? npm install save dev and the HTTP server, right? So this is our, that is fast. Holy shit. Okay. HTTP server is going to be our thing. And I believe they actually changed how npx works. So you can, no, what was it? npm exec, I think, right? So you can now do npm exec packages. I haven't read the docs now, so I apologize in advance for just trying things randomly. HTTP server. I think that should work, right? Yeah, there we go. So, okay, anyway, npm start is what we want to do. Npm start, so that should start our server on port 8080. By using vanilla JavaScript and not using any bundlers or anything like that, we're obviously losing the functionality of hot reload, which means we're going to have to F5 things ourselves, right? Hey, Sebastian, welcome to the stream. Hey, CM, welcome, guys. All right, so we did the basic setup. It works. The cool thing is we don't actually have to touch this anymore at all, because now all we have to do is just edit our files, go back to browser, hit refresh, and there you go, right? So that's done. Now what we need to do is, so webcomponents.org is the official website, and there was a library that allowed you to build web components in a nice way. I think it was lit something, lit HTML, was it? Okay, so it's part of Polymer project. So let's go have a look at them, because I want to use helper when developing web components, because I know that, if you do it from scratch, it's what is going on. If you're developing web components from scratch, it's a bit annoying, right? So like the native API are not exactly super nice, but when you use something like lit HTML, lit element, or whatever, makes it a lot nicer, essentially. Okay, so right. So lit elements basically looks like the class components for React, and lit HTML is... This is a tagged. Okay, so I guess this is like it's basically templating library, right? That actually looks very nice. The only question is it automatically? No, it's basically you have to, right. So it's like kind of a functional-ish approach to it. I guess we need lit element unless there is something else. Wait a second. So lit element alternatives, right? So let's have a look. Again, I'm quite far away from the web components area, so I don't know all the tooling that is there. So basically, if you are working with web components and know any good libraries, do feel free to throw them into the chat. I would be more than happy to pick up basically whatever is popular right now. But there is, okay, partial library, base class for components, blah, 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 fit HTML, lit HTML, web components, and Redux. That is one combination, okay. ULLR, web components, functional programming using lit. Okay, that sounds actually very nice. And it is, okay, it's not exactly actively maintained, so I don't know if we want that. Okay. You know what? Let's just go with lit element, right? Because why not? Yeah, I mean, Stencil we did the last stream, right? So it's like it's not really self-contained web components rather than a framework that gives you all in one. So this is why we're doing this separate stream, which aims to explore how you can do it without using a framework. Vanilla.js and reactive web components. Do you know Preact? Yeah, Preact is really nice, but it's not really web components, right? So it's like it's just a framework like React or whatever else. Okay, you know what? Let's go with lit elements. Now, the thing is that we want to import this from Content Delivery Network. And I mean, okay, so there's two ways. Way number one, we can use something like GSPM, which is the Content Delivery Network, where you can just import the module from your own module and it will work as expected. I hope, at least. Second option is to use ES modules bundler like Snowpack that allows you to do that locally, which okay, you know what, I said we're not going to touch bundlers, so we're not. I'm basically going to do this thing with or at least I'm going to try to do that with all right, of course. So let me, I guess, copy the whole thing. So we're going to do this, and I am going to use the GSPM. So the format is this. So you just put gspm.dev before it. And that should work. Okay, if that works, that's going to be really awesome. So what is decorators? Oh, it uses decorators that are experimental. How does it work without decorators? Can you actually use it? Wait. TypeScript, code editor, JavaScript. Try lit element in live. Okay, wait a second. So how do I use it if I am targeting the current browsers? Is there a way to do that? Define elements, right? Yeah, okay, so you can, okay, so I guess we can use this syntax, right? So this is our, right, so this is our simple gridding, my elements, right? And then we don't need to export anything, we just say, okay, this is going to be app, what was the name of it? App root, okay, yeah, sure, let's go with that. App root extends lit element, right? Do we need decorators for properties? I don't think that's even required, right? So custom elements, where is this coming from? That is Is that just custom? Wait a second. Does it have custom elements? Oh, right. I want get. Okay, this another downside of working this way is that we're not actually gonna get any dev experience this way, right? Because yeah, okay. So you have to like dive into the library itself and see the whatever it exports. So what is a custom element? I guess it is the custom elements that was there, right? Defined. So this is probably what you need to do, and then it's going to be app root. Right. So this you lose quite a bit in dev experience if you work this way. The question is, will this actually work? Blocked by client. All right. This thing. So I probably should just disable it. There we go. Okay, reference my element is not defined. Right, okay, that should be uproot. That is absolutely right. Custom element define is not a function. Right, so this is not the right thing. Not working hot reload makes me think how it actually works under the hood. But I mean, you cannot hot reload, right? So it's just you have to serve. I guess I don't know if the this HTTP server that we use actually has the hot reload capabilities, because hot reload on its own is a very simple thing. At the stupidest thing, you just refresh everything, and then the smart hot reload is basically reloading things in chunks. Blah blah blah. Let me see. Silent course log SSL blah blah blah. No, it doesn't seem like it can refresh anything, but that's fine. What is the BXJS? No, it is not one C product. It is building X with JS is just abbreviation because it's shorter. But yeah, it's just the name of the whole channel series stream, whatever I do basically. Hey Nitsan, welcome to the stream. All right, anyway, coming back to our, so custom elephant define is not custom elephant. That is not a thing. Custom elements define is not a thing. But we probably can get the API here, right? So this is custom elements. Oh, I guess that's a native API, right? So it's actually not from the library, but rather the actual custom elements. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. So that works. And hello world actually functions as expected. That is kind of great. So we literally just defined our first custom element, and it's, I mean, it's not, okay, you know what? It's not super hard, but it's a component. So let me just move it into the app. We're going to have components app. That is going to be index.js. I guess there's no reason to nest it that much. Just move it to components, kill the app, and then rename this to the app.js. I think that will be sufficient. Just copy this whole thing, and then we can do export class. I don't know if we need to, like, we don't really need to export that, right? So it's, yeah, that's fine. We don't actually want to do that. It doesn't matter. So with this one is fine. What we need to do here instead is just import components app. I think that should basically work fine. No, it is not. Source components app. Oh, right, because it's ESM, you actually have to specify the endings. Hi Marina, welcome to the stream. All right, so we did that. Now we can actually start working on routing, I guess, because Stencil handily provided router for us, but this time around we actually don't have it, right? So we will have to bootstrap it ourselves. I guess I can also copy the CSS since we had some stuff here. We can kill that. We don't need this anymore. app.ts. Right, so this is the Polymer web components we used, and I believe we can use them in the same way, with the exception that we actually have to import them from JSPM. I think that should work. We're gonna try that out. Okay, I'm gonna kill this global thing because we don't need it anymore. So yeah, this one is fine. We basically done that. But yeah, I mean, the amount of stuff you lose in terms of development experience when you switch to this way of writing apps is quite significant, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, so let's start with, so last time we had this home page and we had the notes page, and okay, the app root is something we created. I guess we can just do this, copy it from here to here. So we have this app thing. We don't really care about that stuff. Okay, so this is perfectly fine, right? So this is save that. Format this a bit nicer. I wonder if there's a plugin for lit HTML. There's got to be a plugin for that, right? There we go. Okay, I guess that should do it. And it doesn't even need reloads. Nice, there we go. So we got our highlighting. So yeah, okay, so router is something we have to change, obviously, because this won't work. But in theory, if I refresh this now, no errors. Well, no, okay, there is errors. Server responded with non-JavaScript mem type of text HTML. So what is, what? That is a whole ton of modules, by the way. Okay, so what is complaint? GSPM dev polymer. Okay, so it doesn't like the polymer imports. I guess, right, for now I'm just gonna comment them out because it's doesn't like them, but there we go, it actually works. Obviously it doesn't look as nice as our previous app, but we're gonna get to that. So now we need to figure out routing. There we go, this is one of the top searches here. Lit Redux router, Polymer UI router. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's use Polymer, right? Because we already used that. So we can just go with this. Okay, so demo page. Right, I remember that they... Why do they have to be like this, Polymer? I remember that they had the Polymer documentation on the official website, right? But not here. Polymer... Was it library or something? Polymer library 3.0, I guess. Router, please. No, not here. Okay, so what is that? Polymer UI router. Is that like actual Polymer thing, or is it a separate thing? UI router get... Okay, there we go. UI router... No, that's the... I guess what's it based on. For general right... Oh, is it a wrapper around it? I guess it is. How the... Okay, wait a second. Polymer UI router docs. I just gotta Google that because they don't give any damn links to that. So we got... There we go. Routing with app routes. You're viewing the older version. Yes, please give me the latest one. Where's the routing bit? Data system, tools, build apps, references. Come on. Shadow, no, that's fine. Oh, they actually have their own Polymer element, so they wrap around the lit element, I guess. It's like a higher level thing. Maybe we should use that actually, so that looks a lot nicer. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's go for Polymer all in, because why not? Since we're going to be using Polymer elements anyway, right? So instead of lit element, we're going to be extending Polymer element, and we no longer need that. Okay, we do need the JSPM prefix. I hope this will work as expected, but let's try it. Are you going to work? No, question mark. No, yes, what? Preview, okay. Yes, cat, why are you screaming? What's going on? My cat is not happy with something, I'm not sure what. It doesn't seem like it's actually working, so why is it not... Is that file? Yeah, so it did load the file, right? So the problem is there a Polymer... Wait a second. Polymer ES module CDN. Is that a thing? Because like Polymer is built around ES modules anyway, because it's a web component thing, right? So it should be available in the web component. Whoa, that is not what I wanted. ES6 and modules. Yes, please. Blah, blah, blah. How can I... Polymer is there. What we can try is on PKG, right? So we can die this and then go Polymer. Right? So this should be, yep, Polymer element. And if we try this, because I know that on PKG basically allows you to use the ES modules if there are any. I think we should be able to just do that. Would you work? Is it working better than JSPM? No, it actually doesn't. Interesting. So Polymer exports are not actually working. I'm not blocking anything, am I? No, that looks fine, right? Oh, as my log is persisted for whatever reason. Yeah, no. I don't need to preserve log. Just give me whatever you load right now. Where is my errors? Am I just missing something in my code? Wait a second. So we got this polymer thing. We got import, yeah, polymer elements. So we are importing the correct thing. Okay, cool. And then we do extends. Oh, right, because I'm an idiot, of course, because it uses completely different structure rather than what the lit element does. Okay, of course. That makes perfect sense because, you know, I probably should have read the documentation more careful. Okay, so this is our stuff. We do not care about properties right now. We do not care about constructor. We do not care about the greet_me function. Okay, so there we go. I think now it should start working, and probably the JSPM actually worked as well. But you know what? Since we're using the ES module packages, we don't really need the ESPM, which converts the non-ES module to ES module yet, at least. So I'm just gonna go with that. Okay, we don't need that. Right, so we did this. Routing is what I went looking for routing and then started rewriting the thing. Custom elements, upgrade guide. So this is Polymer library. So where are the components? Polymer UI router. Yes, okay. Oh, is it like a third-party thing? Seems like it is indeed. So how do I use it? Using minimal bits from Polymer 3x base element. Okay, so this is a third-party package and doesn't seem like it has any documentation for it. So, okay, what else? Do we have any other routing here? Okay, well, I definitely don't want a Redux router. This sounds like too much. Is there like some... Really, there's no like very simple basic router? Oh, yes, there is the up route. That's what they were talking about, right? Articles routing. There we go. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly what we want. So, okay. Routes, pattern, tabs, tab name, data, up routes. So how do I... Where is... Oh, God, why is it so hard to find their docs? Okay, Polymer uproute docs. Okay, we no longer need lit element because we're not using it. I'm going to keep that one open. Routing with uproute. This is the one... No, okay, there we go. So it is Polymer elements uproute. Okay. Let me think. So that's going to be on pkg.com/polymer elements uproute. I assume cannot find polymer elements latest. Okay. Oh, it's a Bower pack. Why is it a Bower package? That can't be right. Tim, why don't you go back old school and not make use of routing and use 2 pages and put it as a static website? I mean, that would mean, like, we could do that. The problem is that would mean that we need server to handle that, the routing part is, and we need something to handle the routing, right? So because we have this dynamic part of the route, there has to be something that will handle it anyway. And since we're doing the front end, I would just stick to the front end routing. But I mean, that's not a terrible idea. You could do that, but personally... But that would mean, in our case, that would mean we have to add the server, right? Because what we have right now doesn't actually do anything but provides a GraphQL endpoint. Okay, so this, why is it a Bower package? Because it's, okay, Polymer 3. How is there no routing here? Data, polyfills, tools, build apps, app templates. Where is the components documentation for this? Guides, API. Elements. Okay, we're getting somewhere, finally. Legacy, no. Right, so this doesn't seem like, this seems like the core of it. Where the hell is components? Lit element, material, web components? Question words. This is so damn confusing. Like, the docs for Polymer are one of the most confusing things I've ever had to work with. It's like all over the damn place. That doesn't seem correct. Right, so this is definitely not it. Polymer lit element, yes. What's available? Polymer paper button. Okay, so it mentions components here, but there's no freaking list anywhere. Am I just missing something? Release notes, custom elements, concepts. Is there like an obscure link somewhere that just lists all of them? Or did they thought it was enough to just do this in here, which is like, I guess Polymer uproute is the package? Is that what you're telling me? That exists? Yes, it does. It cannot find index.js and Polymer app route. Okay, so if you show me the whole package. No, don't. Why did you want to translate it from? French? That's not French. GitHub Pages. Yeah, but I mean, GitHub Pages is still like, we have to configure it, right? It's still like configuring a backend, and then we have to deploy the GraphQL backend somewhere so that GitHub Pages can access them. That is too much work. Maybe App Nest Web Router. Sure, let me take a look. So we got App Nest Web Router. Okay, DuckDuckGo is not working very well with things like this for whatever reason. So let's see. Come on. Load already. What is going on? I'm sorry, what? There we go. Okay, let's open the GitHub right away. So this is routers. Okay, it was renamed. That's fine. Router slots. Add base href. Import the router slots. Add the okay, that seems pretty straightforward. Let's give it a shot. Router slots. Can we import it from on PKG? Here's the question. Yes, we can. That is awesome. Okay, so we can just so this is our app. We can import. There we go. So we import router slots. Okay, cool. And then we do what? We say that base href is. I guess we can just do this, right? I assume it doesn't have any sort of the requirements like JSX has, for example. Okay, routed components will go here. All right, so this means this is the place we want to put it on. Okay, so far so good. And right, so then we have to define this thing. Can you do it? Like, I would prefer a declarative approach, but that is fine, I guess. I guess no. So I guess it's like you have to define it via code, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so which means we need to go to Polymer and not this one. Where's the Polymer docs? Right, there we go. So we need to. Where is get up? Right, yeah. So we need. No, that is not what we need. Try Polymer. Constructor, so we do not need constructor. We need the life cycle. Where's the life cycle? Data system, observers, events, handle events, custom element concepts. Yes, so we need that. Define an element. Okay, so we got connected ready. Okay, yeah, that seems like a nice callback. We can do it on ready. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use this router slot thing, right? So there's our query selector router slot. So we are gonna have, this is gonna be home. Home is gonna be not lazy load. Okay, so it even supports lazy loading. That is pretty cool. Like, okay, so if it would be declarative, that basically would be all I ever wanted, but it's not declarative. Still, it's not super terrible. The sync ready, await router slots. Okay, Right, so we need, I guess now we need to define pass nodes. You know what? Let's just try this. So node component. And then we got home component. So we need to create our home components, home.js. I'm just going to copy the whole thing. So we are not, I mean, I will leave the ready here because we're going to use it to load some stuff. And then we're going to export class home components. This is gonna be okay. So we don't need that. We don't need any of that. This is gonna be basically, let's just do this homepage just to test that it works essentially, right? Home components, and this is one. So we don't need to import router slot here. Okay. And we need the node component, which is gonna be node component, and we're just gonna do this, right? Whoops. Okay, node components. Right, so this is getting a bit complex. That's okay. So we are gonna import from, so this is gonna be home, and we're gonna import this home component, and from, let me think, node, we are gonna import node component, right? And I think, yeah, so we go, there we go. Yeah, we don't need lazy load. That is perfectly okay. Routed component will go here. Question is, will that work? Route not. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that ES modules require you to use the extensions. This is a mistake. I think it will take me quite a long time to actually properly to figure out how to, you know, teach myself to not repeat that. Is it easier, faster than the same project with React or Vue or other? No, it's definitely not easier or fast. Like, okay, that depends on what you're doing. It's easier in terms of that you don't have to, you know, set up anything. But then again, frameworks like Create React App or Next.js or what is it, Nuxt or whatever, they take care of that setup for you. The advantage is that you don't have any build toolchain and you can literally just edit files, hit F5 and it will work, right? So long as you write it correctly. Cannot read property out of null. Okay, so I guess it cannot be async is what it's saying. But I guess in our case, it doesn't actually matter. We can just do that, right? So this, like, we can just do it synchronously. Cannot read property out of null. Oh, okay. So it does not find the router slot thing. Okay. Console log router slots. No, don't exit it. Yeah, okay. So I guess not. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't find that. So I guess the ready is not the correct callback, which probably means we need a different one. So what is the, why don't they have the life cycle? Define an element. Okay, here's the question. What is the life cycle? Life cycle. It's probably something like rendered, right? It's like, there's gotta be a thing. I'm sorry, what? Life cycle, hello? Oh, it literally just searches Google. Yeah, okay, cool, sure. Why not? Why even add? Yeah, and the Google shows the results from the old Polymer. Amazing. That's just, yeah, okay. Component, oh, there we go. It's just a tiny hidden link in the bottom of the documentation. Amazing experience. Okay, so we got the constructor. Okay, this is when element is upgraded. We got the ready Polymer specific initialization. We got the connect. Document level event listeners. Locate your element. Use annotated event listeners. Right, so I guess connected callback is probably what we want, question mark. I wonder if that will actually work. No, we want. Okay, so it's still executed before. So we need some way to reference. So they said you can use the annotated event listeners, whatever that is. And we'll click. Okay, so it automatically does those things. How do you properly do this? Add event listener, click this on click. No, that's not what we want. Listen on... Right, so how the hell are they supposed to use that? Like, I guess... Oh, right, okay, so this is what they suggest doing. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually. So you, wait a second, would that work? So you define this thing, and then once it's defined, you just do that. Right? Is this gonna work? Then off undefined. I'm sorry, what now? But I just copied this from the official documentation. Custom. Oh, okay. I am an idiot and I copied only parts. Okay, so we can do this. Right, okay. Setup routing. That is a bit messy. Again, I would, as I said, I would prefer declarative router rather than anything else. What if we do it on uproots? Are you gonna... Nope. Still undefined. How the hell do you connect that? I mean, I don't want to use set timeout because that's obviously wrong. Okay, is there any other router that actually allows us to do it in a declarative manner? There's a web router. Okay, what is this? AU declarative. That is exactly what we're using. Okay, not that. Vaadin router. Okay, so Vaadin is a pretty large framework, but they also do it imperatively. God damn it. X router. Yeah, this looks nice. The question is, does it actually work? How well it's maintained? Judging by everything, not that much. Express. That is definitely not a router. App routes. So this also seems to be declarative, but Polymer app route. Okay, so I did when I tried to import it from NPKG, it said that it's not found, right? Yeah, so index.js is not found, but I guess you can get the other things. So what is exactly, wait a second, so I can kill that, I can kill that. So they are importing, okay. So we need to import those things. Let's try this router, because again, so this is one of the problems with using an ecosystem that is not exactly large, is that it's going to take you a long time to find the libraries that essentially work as well as you want and do things that you want them to do, right? Polymer, okay, now this is Polymer, this is not what we want. I don't know why we need this DOM bind, we probably don't. Okay, so this is what we want to do essentially, right? Okay, we got application, app route. So this should open, oh, sorry, they import the components for routing, which means that now we can just, where were they? We can just do that. Okay. Let's try this. So we no longer need that, which is great. I like this approach, which means we can just do this. So application routes. Okay, so this is this, and this is gonna be nodes. And how the hell do I... What is this route and subroute? How do I route to something that exists, basically? How does it work? Documentation. Yes, is that... Why do you have to be like this? Oh, no. Okay, maybe this has a better explanation of what's going on. App route pattern data. Okay, paper tab select data tab name. Okay, so this is like the tab selection. Right, I guess no, this is not block. Why is it not loading stuff? Why is AdBlock blocking web components? What is going on with my browser? Is it just doesn't exist? View frame source. That seems like it should work, right? Polymer properties route value return path pref. So it seems like you still have to do it yourself. Why doesn't loads? This is so annoying. Like this is just. So if I remove this view source and we just load this thing, are you actually gonna work? Is it just broken? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Yep. Cool. Great experience. Oh my god, do I have to write like... Okay, you know what we could do? Like, since we are going to be using imperative routing, anyway, it seems. So, JS routing. I know that there's a bunch of like existing routing libraries, right? And we can probably just take some existing vanilla router, like JavaScript one. And yeah, there you go. So we can just do that. Right, okay, so this is not gonna work. We can just throw it in here. This is not gonna work. Right, okay, yeah, cool. HTTPS, Navigo 6. That's why I stuck with Stencil. I got frustrated with Polymer. Yeah, that's totally understandable. Like, you know, if, again, I'm doing this purely to see what the experience would be, but I would, like, if I would be building a real app, I would drop this already, like, 20 minutes ago. Okay, let's see if we can actually just, you know, go and do something. Okay, so we do this, we add this, we need to initialize it. I guess we can just do it in place, right? So we got this let roots, use hash, and yes, defaults to false, that is fine. Okay, so we just need to give it a root, which means we can just do this, right? So I actually probably a good idea to just initialize it here. And just do export const router Navigo. And I guess we can import Navigo from Navigo. I assume at least it's gonna give us the LNAS module. That doesn't actually... Can I do module? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So I can actually do that. Okay, so we can, I mean, that's, yeah, please just a bit simpler. There we go. Okay, so we created the router. That's fine. Now, how do I Display all products, resolve on product set. Okay, so this is how it works. And I guess we need to import it. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense to just do it in place. We don't need to export it anywhere. So how would we go about that? So I guess in this case, we need some local state for the component, and basically our app root component is what will handle the routing, right? Or I guess responds to routing is a better way of putting it. Okay, so essentially this is, where's our, okay, we don't need that anymore. We do need, where is, yeah, I guess ready is fine. So basically whenever it is ready, super ready is what we want to say first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say that it should listen to this router, right? That is a bit broken. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to have two pages. We're going to have the this one, and we're going to have the, yeah, okay. So we already have the home at the very bottom. It means that is going to be note. And then we're going to do this. And then we need to define this set content function, which is something that Polymer, okay, so do they have local state? How do you... Lifecycle, initialization. There, okay, state. How do I the lifecycle callbacks, custom element concepts, define, declare properties? I assume properties is more like literally properties, right? So where is custom element concepts? Yes, okay, this is not it. Define an element, state. Return, get properties, constructor. So is there a way to do it dynamically? I could just say that, hey, shadow DOM and styling, events, data system. There you go. Okay, so it's a separate. Okay, so we can say that this, I guess this route, right? So, okay, so we need constructor. This is not exactly straightforward, right? So super, this route is home. Okay, and then we just say this route equals home, and then this should be the arrow function, right? This route equals nodes. Okay, and then what we can do here is go main and then just this route, right? I think that's how you do it. It's for whatever reason double square brackets. Okay. Are we working? No, we are not working. What am I missing? I thought that should display this, right? So we got the extends Polymer element. Are we extending Polymer? Yes, we are extending Polymer element. We got the constructor. We set this name. Get template, return HTML. What if I do div here? Is that because I don't have the main component? No. Okay, what if we don't set anything here? Why is it not rendering it? Did they change the syntax again and the docs are outdated? Is that what's happening again? Is this gonna work? Wait a second. No, okay, this doesn't work for sure. Okay. When you're building an app like this, you don't have server rendering. Would this hurt the SEO ranking? So, I mean, most of the search engines run JavaScript now, but it does hurt the ranking absolutely. So they only run JavaScript on subsequent scrapes, and they also rank the dynamic content lower than the static content. So you do want to have server-side rendering, even for the web components, like even for the, you know, the ES modules, web components, whatever, but it's quite easy to set up nowadays with the modern tooling. So this is version 3, so why the hell is it not rendering? I shouldn't be this. Okay, so it's just routes. This is what's wrong. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we need to render. So now we need to figure out how to render stuff based on the input, right? So name. Okay, so in some cases it uses curly braces, in some cases square braces. Very consistent. Batch property changes, conditional. Okay, where's the rendering? Conditional rendering, templates, custom elements, DOM templating. There we go. Conditional rendering, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I mean, it is, right. What am I'm overthinking it. It is just template literal, right? So we can literally just do that. So if this route equals home, then we do one thing. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do that, right? And then here we're just going to have sub route variable, right? I guess let would be easier. And then switch this route case home sub route equals home component is what we want to do, right? Break. I guess I should have done this like this. And then case note. We are gonna say that sub route equals node component, right? This is what we called it, I think. And that's basically it. That's our routing. It's very stupid, but I think it should work. Okay. Non-template value passed to polymers. Oh, right. I probably should do that as well, right? So this is, it should be templated as HTML2. What did I screw up? That is way too many. Okay, kinda getting there, I guess. Homepage, notes page. Okay, node component, home component. So, oh, we don't import them anywhere, I think. Right, yeah, okay. So this is the problem. Import home JS. Import Node.js. There we go. Hey, it actually works. Okay, it looks absolutely ugly, but it does work. Right, now we need to actually, let me think. So first of all, let's make this a bit smaller, I guess. There we go, a bit nicer. And then this one can be like h3 or whatever. Home page, and then we can do ahref note, right? 1 to 3. Note 1 to 3. I think so. Basically, we are like 90% there in terms of rebuilding, because we got the routing seems to be the most complicated part here. Okay, so we got this, and right. This is another problem because we're literally navigating. So I guess it has to be the hash, right? And in this case, so wait a second. So which means we need the router to be the null. What was the definition for it? So we needed null and then use hash true, and then the hash is the hash, right? Okay. Let me think. Yeah, so I think that should make it work. And then we got this hash navigation. So we can log here actually. First of all, where's my route definitions? They are... Okay, how do you do the... Okay, so I can just do this, right? Nodes ID. Which means that the... How can I get this ID? Oh, okay, so it's params, and then which means that this would be ID. Route node ID, okay. Console log notes, just to test that it actually works. Whoops. And then this is home. Okay, I think that should work, right? Node 1 to 3. Yep, perfect. And then there's our home. For whatever reason, it actually doesn't trigger re-renders. Question is, so I guess there's some DOM templating, inherited template. How do I react to data changes? So there was the data system, right? Observe, yeah, that's no, whoa. Observers and computed properties. That's what we want. Okay, return. Okay, get properties. No, this is a property toggle class. Complex observers. Observe changes to my... That's properties. So how do I actually trigger changes on... observers, callbacks, computed properties, data bindings. Observable changes. This owner. Oh, does it have to be like with a curly? Is that what it says? So it's like if it's not... No, but we're not even using that. Is that because... Wait a second. So if I do this and say route, are you gonna start working then? Notes. Okay. Home. No. Okay, now it works, but it doesn't re-render the component. Did I screw up the routing? Home components, node components. Okay, console log, new render. Is that just me screwing up this routes? Okay. Hey Mihail, welcome to the stream. Alright, so what is going on here? The new okay, so it literally doesn't re-render anything? Is it not? I guess it does trigger this change in the template, but it doesn't trigger the whole function render? How the hell does that work? Okay, so I guess, right, so I guess what's happening is it precompiles this template in some way and then never touches it again, which means to make it dynamic, we have to add this logic over here somehow. Okay, so what is the condition? So I guess it's just the way the Polymer works. So how do you conditionally render stuff? DOM templating. No, okay. Conditional render. Hey, Major Malfunction, welcome to the stream. Logic and templates. There we go. This is exactly what we want. Similar to conditional, blah, blah, blah. You can do... I mean, this is exactly what we're doing, right? But it doesn't actually change. This seems like it's only applies to lit HTML, but not Polymer itself, because it precompiles stuff. Okay, so this is the dynamic binding. This is exactly what we're doing. How the hell? DOM repeat. Template it, DOM repeat, simple mod, blah, blah, blah. Filtering and sorting. Compute filter. So you basically need to define a helper function that you can call on the value and it will return. Okay, I see. So I guess let's try that. So it's more of a Polymer thing rather than the web components or lit HTML even. Render subroute. But we're literally like inventing our module now. Okay, the cool thing is that we actually don't need to new routes. There's gonna be routes, switch routes, and we don't need these breaks, we don't need setting anything, we can just return, right? There we go. Okay, and then this means that here, instead of doing this, we can just say render subroute. I hope that I'm understanding correctly how it works. Object HTML template element. Well, kinda, but not really. So what do we return here? So this returns string. Okay, this is a string. Div employee first name, compute filter. Oh, so it passes it as a filter. Oh boy, okay. How the hell do we do this correctly? So it seems like it's a completely separate problem, to be honest. All right, data bindings, item last. Yeah, okay. We figured that part out. Array selectors. It seems like they have a lot of like helper components that basically do that for you. Conditional. There we go. That's exactly what we want. Template DOM if. Okay, so I guess, can we just do it like this? Wait. So if we just do this thing here. Template if, DOM if route equals home, right? Slash template. So this is kind of gonna be our kind of declarative rendering. Because this is actually a lot nicer than what we had before. If that works. There's like very big if right here. So I'm gonna kill that. and then put that here, and then node component, and then this is gonna be nodes. Probably should fix the formatting. Okay. I'm just gonna render the route here on its own, just so we can see what route is. Is this working? Oh, no, it is not working, so it doesn't render anything at all. So how does this, where's this template if... do we need this DOM module ID thing? Template. Script. Doesn't seem like we need it, right? So it seems like it's an optional thing. So it's like a wrapper if you want to do it. Oh, it's a... Why do you have to be like this, Polymer? Oh my god, helper elements. There we go. Okay, please tell me where is template is DOM repeat. Okay. Conditional DOM if. Okay, template is DOM if. Okay, if condition. Why is this condition not working? Template is DOM if template. Inside a Polymer element or another Polymer managed template. Template is DOM if condition. That seems correct, right? So I think at least, unless this condition... I wonder if that condition is executed correctly. Okay, so let's see. They have this example with a user. Value ID. DOM if user is admin. Okay, that's very straightforward. Check. But I guess it's just executed as a function, right? DOM if items data. So okay, so this is repeat. Template is... Yeah, so it seems like we should be able to just use it like this. But the question is, why doesn't it work? You not like my triple equals here? Is that the problem? Right, so this route works as expected. Let's try the different syntax, I guess. So they had this other way of doing it. DOM if template. But we are inside the Polymer, so why is Polymer trying to hit X on its own legs? No, I think it's just the... I'm not even sure what the problem... Maybe, like... I'm 90% sure that like 95% of issues we had could be resolved with a better documentation. The problem is just like it doesn't clarify what is going on basically. So this is a property reaction. Custom this user, yes. And then why is this not... Okay, so here's the question. Can I actually do that? So equals home. Is this gonna work? I assume this is just evaluated inline as a, you know, your typical... No, it's not. This is the problem. Okay. Next question. I guess helper functions is come in here, right? Is home route. And this is just basically gonna be return route equals... I cannot believe I need to write a helper function for this. Is node. Okay, route. Return route equals node. Okay, let's try this. So is home. I think that should work, right? At least my understanding is that it will use it as a helper function. Is node. But this is like, why? I mean, I guess, but you still evaluate this function, right? So it doesn't make sense that you want to evaluate the simple if condition. Okay, so this at least evaluates to the right thing. Question is, why is it not? Can you not use it there? I'm so confused right now. So we still import the home, right? So if I just render it here as is, this will work, right? Yes, it will. Okay. And we got the correct true false here. Right, let me just to be safe, I'm gonna go here and copy this thing and paste it here and see if I screwed anything up. Template is DOM if whatever. Looks correct, right? Why are you not working? Those working correctly as well. Does it not support the... I mean, okay. Are you gonna work like this? Like, is this? No, so this doesn't even render if I just give it true. So there's obviously something is wrong with this template is DOM if. Question is what? Static get templates, get properties. Why is it? Most cases, you'll use the first DOM if shorthand. I don't understand why it doesn't work. This is confusing as hell. It doesn't even throws any errors. Like, there's nothing in the console. Everything is perfectly executed, but it just doesn't do anything. Let's inspect the DOM maybe. I mean, there's our app root, there's our shadow DOM, there's our div, there's DOM if, there's the templates, there's the document fragment. That is absolutely empty. Okay. I mean, let's try the full thing maybe. Is that like, okay, so if I use DOM if, where's the, and there's no documentation on how DOM if is. Oh, and if you're doing it this way, you have to manually implicitly set the condition. Oh boy, that is not fun. Right. How the hell? I mean, you know what we could do? Okay, you know what? Fine. That's perfectly fine. Right? It's okay. It's okay. I know another way of doing routing. It's a lot more stupid, but you know what? If it works, it's not stupid, right? Routes. Okay, so we're just gonna pass the route to each component. And the component itself is basically gonna decide if it should render or not. Right? Because I literally don't see any other option. You need to import DOM if. Import from where? The documentation doesn't say. Oh, it does say. Okay. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Thank you very much. Okay, so this. But why it doesn't complain about that? Okay. So we need to import it from Polymer. You are absolutely right. Okay, was it that easy? Am I just dumb? Okay. Right. Polymer lib elements DOM if. And is the magic happening now? Yes, it does. Okay, it actually worked. Holy crap. Okay, that was... Wait a second, but it doesn't... Yeah, okay, so it's again, it's like it mentions it in an example, but it doesn't say it anywhere in the beginning that you actually have to import it as a separate package. This documentation is just straight up painful. It's just very, very painful to navigate. Anyway, we finally defeated it. It actually works. It renders as it's supposed to. Okay, div. No. That's too much. Ta-da! Okay, cool. That works. Great. Let me open a new tab and start our backend finally. GitHub. Yes, we got that. Right. I should probably sudo service docker start. Docker. Okay. Docker remove exited. npm run. What was it? Mongo start, I think. There we go. Okay. npm run graffiti start. There we go. There's our graffiti. Okay, so we got the backend now. Okay, we got to that point. We gotta finish it today. Like that's been extremely painful experience, but you know what? That's fine. We can get through that. Okay, so we got this AppRoad thing. We no longer need that, so we finished all of this. This is good. Now we got the home, which... So in this case, we had the query and we had this request, right? So, okay, so this is our GraphQL request. Okay, so we got to unpkg. Here's the question. Will it actually allow us to import that as a module? No, don't. Where are you going? Module, is that, I think unpkg people were adding it as a node. Okay. Try JSPM. I think they basically automatically convert everything to modules. I'm sorry, what? JSPM. Oh, it should be jspm.dev/GraphQL requests. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can import it from JSPM. Okay, that's good. And then, okay, so this we do that. Which means that we need this. Okay, so first of all, constructor. Super this nodes equals empty array for now, right? And then we are gonna on ready. Okay, we already have this ready here. So here in the ready, we are gonna load our nodes and just assign it to these nodes, right? Which means that we need to do this template. Throw it in here. So this is our nodes component actually, but you know what, that's fine. We can just do it inline for now. And yeah, okay, so this is gonna be right. So we need to rewrite this because we are gonna be templating them. Okay, so we are gonna, yeah, okay, so this is gonna be this DOM, whatever it was, DOM, what is it, what, DOM repeat, right? I assume I also have to, yeah, I have to import it. Why is it not the first line? Oh my god, okay, home, right, so polymer. So prefix that with onpkg. Yes, we do that. Okay, so repeating is that, okay. Right, I don't know if we're gonna do all the components because we already spent way too much time fighting with that. Notes, maybe we just do it in line because why not? I mean, the note item was super straightforward, right? So it's just that basically. Okay, so this is gonna be a href, and then it's gonna be just note ID. And then, yeah, okay, we don't need this, we don't need that. Yeah, so it's literally just div and an A here. Okay, so index, we don't care about index in this case. Give a name item. Okay, so it's gonna be item, and I guess we can also use the square brackets in here. Item name. Okay. Right, yeah, I think, okay, so add node is not gonna render for now. I don't think we have any nodes, so does it actually work? We're actually sending the, hello? What is going on? Oh, there we go, okay, we sending the request? No, we are not. We are not sending a GraphQL request, right? GraphQL. So we do have GraphQL request here, but we are not sending the request itself. Why are we not sending it? Because request is not defined. How is this even working? There we go. Okay. Why did it not complain? There we go. Now we're sending the GraphQL request, but it comes back empty, which makes perfect sense. It actually works. Like, okay. Now it got easy. Like, this is the cool part. Okay, so note item, we don't care about that. We are done basically. Note is our note page, so we are gonna just okay, I'm gonna do that later, that's fine. Home is okay, so we did that. We just need to do the add notes thingy, and then we're basically done, right? So this is kind of okay, and the notes page rendering as well. Okay, so this is the most complex thing. And yeah, this is gonna be a bit tricky to implement. Okay, you know what? It's fine. So add notes.js. I'm gonna copy the note, I guess, because it's the simplest one. So this is gonna be add note components, add notes. Let's just call it add note. Yes, I'm gonna copy the whole thing from here. Okay, so this is our styling for it, right? We will have to change the templates quite a bit because the old one's stencil, so it's a lot nicer, but that's fine. Okay, this is our logic. Again, a lot of that will have to be changed. We also don't need any of that styling. So yeah, we don't need any types annotations. We don't need this UI thing. Okay, that's fine. I sure as hell hope the event handling is as easy as everything else in, you know, the data bindings basically. Okay, let me think. So we got that. Yeah, so we need the query, we need the GraphQL request. So I'm gonna copy the mutation here. throw it in here, and then I can copy the GQL from here. Okay, so we got that. Right, we need to import. So we did the add node here, which means we gotta import it. Whoops. Okay, right. I keep forgetting that you have to use the full file name, and otherwise it's not gonna work. Right, okay, so the template is completely broken right now, which makes perfect sense. So we are going to edit it, right? So let me just collapse that. So, right, first of all, we gotta import our components, and I guess I'm just gonna import them in place. Save that, add nodes, just import it here. So, Polymer, yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to use unpkg first and see if that works. I think it should, right? So it's gonna, yeah. The problem is now we are at 63 requests. Holy crap. That is a lot of requests for a very, very simple app. And 400 kilo, like, okay, almost 500 kilobytes of JavaScript. Something broke. Paper button. Okay, so it's just loading stuff from unpkg. Come on, hit the cache already. I mean, once you cache it, it's not too bad. Why is it not? Okay, so we are... access to script from origin has been blocked like by course policy. Why is it blocked by course policy while everything else works? Okay, let's try gspm, I guess. gspm.dev. Are you gonna work? And transmitted with... Okay, so gspm dev transmits it with the wrong MIME type. So why is it... I wonder why is it fails. Why is it transmitted with the wrong course headers while transmitting everything else with the correct headers? That is very confusing. But which one actually fails? Okay, it also takes quite a bit. Failed to resolve module specifier Polymer legacy. Relative references must start with either slash or dot slash. Okay, so it seems like some of those are a bit broken, I guess. Here's the question. Can I just do module? Let's try maybe that's because of the compiled version, so it's just, yeah, request modules specifically. Would that help? Why? Like when you don't have cache, yeah, it's, I guess JSPM doesn't have them cached as well. It returns 404 and server responds with index. Oh, is it? Yeah, so let's see. Failed preview response. No, this is like literally 404. Paper button module. Okay, I guess it just doesn't return module. Okay, so not this. Paper input, I assume, is also fine. Paper button. Okay, so it's only paper button was the problem. So let's try that. Are we working now? It's like trying to figure out which of those components, which are supposed to be web components, are supposed to be like AS module formatted, has AS modules and which not. Okay, are we good yet? No, we are not. What is this? Polymer lib utilth path. Failed to load. Okay. Oh my god, this is painful. Why is this not working? Is it? Wait a second. So if I just do that... Okay, you know what? Let's just try one by one, right? Okay, so paper inputs. Are we working now? No, we are not. Okay, so this is broken. Paper input doesn't work. What about paper button? Are you work? No, same issue. What about the text area? Iron components. Does iron components work? It's taking a whole lot of time. I like why? Like unpkg is generally pretty damn fast. Okay, seems like this is also okay. So now we got wrong course headers. Yeah. Okay. So what is up with the course headers? Refer origin. Miss. Okay, so it missed the cache, but why What is... Oh! Oh, okay. So, okay, right. I guess this is the problem. GSPM. Okay, let's try GSPM. Does this work? Yes, it does. Okay. So what if we try GSPM for this? JSPM is it's good that there is more than one way to basically import stuff, but and JSPM responded with the wrong MIME type. Okay, so this is what you were saying, that this it basically hits the JavaScript. Oh, sorry, the HTML, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Why does it import the whole damn thing? Meta name, blah blah blah. Polymer title. Okay, so how do I... Is there a way to say that, hey, like imports... Oh boy, okay, you know what? We're just gonna use the basic HTML components because it seems like the paper components just doesn't really work with modules. Input type, text, class name, label, this on key up. So this is going to be a handle name change. I think that should do it. We do not need a reference. I don't remember why we had a reference in the first place. So this is going to be just a text area. On key up is going to be this handle body change. That is fine. We do not need this. And then we're going to have just a simple button. And I think I screwed something up. There we go. On click... this create notes. I think that should be fine. And then button. What is this formatting? Okay, let me just do that. There we go. That's a lot nicer. Okay, so we are not going to use paper components. I mean, if I install it with npm, then I would have to copy or symlink it or whatever, which I don't really want to do. Like the straightforward way, obviously, to do that, it would be to install a bundler and just, you know, use it. But I want to wait that as much as possible. It boggles my mind that you cannot just import them from, what do you call it? From unpkg, because it does correctly handle ES modules. Like why it doesn't work, I don't know. Okay, let me just wrap those in divs so that they are a bit nicer. Div, okay, div, and that's not my best markup, but you know what, that's fine. Okay, question is, did it actually work? Okay, so we are not gonna emit. All right, this we use this emit thing as well, which I guess, oh yeah, we used it to right, I remember what we did. Okay, so let me just comment all of this out and just say, right, now I remember where we had the references to those elements. Okay. It's fine. We can work around that. Anyway, console log creates variables. There we go. Okay, and create notes. Nothing happens. Okay, so I guess the bindings are not exactly... Don't really work this way. Okay, anyway. Data binding. Let's have a look at that. Can I just like assign a property to input or something and will it work? Like that will be the perfect attribute binding, property binding. Label div button, data flow, simple view, inputs. Is there an input example somewhere? Input type number. Value, okay, listens for input and sets host value to input value. Okay, so I guess this is what we want, right? That's actually a lot easier than the, what do you call it? So it sets host value to input value. Okay, and we want to set the name. Okay, that is a lot simpler than the stencil. I do like that. Okay, and this should be body. Okay. And then how do I handle on click? I guess it is just click. You can later load it to cron node. I mean, yeah, it's like you have to, it's like you basically, asking me to create the build setup right now by myself, which is, I mean, I could do that, but like, come on. I wanted to evade building. That's kind of the point. Okay, reacting to click elements, events, handle and fire events. There we go. That should have on click. Okay, so it's on minus click. And it's just that. Okay. 4. ASD 103 creates. That works. Cool. That is actually really nice. Okay, so we can actually do that. Now the question is, right, but that means that we can just say that this name and this body equals that, right? So if I don't send anything here, just comment this. So theoretically, if I refresh this and if I type, it works. Holy crap. Okay, that is super nice. Right, so now we need to emit events from our add node component so that our parent component can actually listen to it and add the emitted node into the existing list. Gesture events, handle and fire events. Okay, so how do I fire custom events? There we go. This dispatch event, new custom event. Okay. So it's not much more complex than what we had before. New custom events, nodes. And then this is gonna be nodes, right? Is that a detail or kick edit? Okay, so we can just say nodes, right? There we go. Okay. Now how do I listen to that? Add event listener. Can I bubbles composed? Can I listen to it dynamically? There a declarative way of doing that. Handle retargeted events. Listen on custom elements. This add event listener. Listen on child elements. All of that is like imperative. Like, where's there's no declarative way of doing that? Annotated event on minus. Okay, so that should basically work. So if I do on note, it should work, right? As far as I understand, at least. Okay, let's try on note. Handle new notes. Okay, so you got that. Handle new notes. Events. Const notes is gonna be events notes. And then we just say this nodes equals node concats this node, right? So we just basically push it in front. And that's basically it. I think that should work, if I understand correctly. Test nodes, 1 to 3, create nodes, and request is not defined. Okay, so there is, oh, it removed the request again. Right, okay, please stop removing that. Test nodes, 1 to 3, create nodes. Okay, so it did create the nodes, and I guess it did dispatch the event, but it did not trigger it on node. So we are dispatching the node event, okay. Right, so why is it not handling it? Handle click. The event name is always converted to lowercase. My events is case sensitive. To avoid confusion, always use lowercase event names. Okay. So it should work according to this docs. The question is why it doesn't work. New custom event, kick detail. Right. Okay. I mean, I guess we could try to do that. Why is it handle new node, console log, new nodes, events? Are we actually, like, is it not triggered or is something else is happening? So we actually should now see our one node that we created. What is going on with my connection? No, oh, wait a second. Okay. So we do get the nodes back. There we go. So we now have one node, but they are not rendered. Right. Okay. Node many. This nodes. Okay. So why is this? Did I did import DOM repeat? Yes, I did. Template is DOM repeat items nodes. Okay. Yes, that seems correct, I think. What if I do index here? So where are my nodes? DOM if, okay, so this is our Where's our, no, this is the other thing. Wait a second. Where's my add note, homepage? Repeat notes. Yeah, okay. So this should, it looks like it should render, right? So here are your, oh, wait a second. We are, wait. Home components. Hey, Andres, welcome to the stream. So what is going on? Where's my, so we got the create node thing, but that's it. Where's the rest? Okay, so this is our add node, but there's nothing else. I am so confused right now. Okay, so what if I move, let's see, so this goes here, this removes, this goes here, this is adjusted, reloads, this is our shadow roots, there's our header, there's our home components, add node, and we do not, why is it not rendering the rest? Okay. What? Wait a second. Okay, so this is home component, this is defined character, this is node component, this is app, which is defined as app root. Okay. Right. This seems fine. Okay, so this actually should be, whoa. href. This should be just a link. But that shouldn't affect anything actually. So we got the node, we got the home. This is our home. It renders out nodes. Is it because of the event listener? Did it just screw up something? Where is, wait a second. Okay, so I am extremely confused right now. So if I remove my add node, it starts, oh, wait a second. Does it not understand the self-closing tag? Is that the problem? Is that why you were like, hey, I don't know how to render that? Yeah, it is. Okay. Cool. So this actually works. We do not need this index anymore. Okay, come on now. I guess I should retain my cache because whatever is like, it's not terrible, right? Okay, or maybe not. No, it's actually fine. So, right, I killed the, oh god, okay. On, what was it? Node, right? Handle new node is what we did. So I think that should start working now. And I think that's basically, oh yeah, we need to render the other node, which means we would have to tweak the, oh, what do you call it? We have to tweak the node route a bit differently. So another 103, create nodes. Okay, so there's a custom event. But where is the node property? Okay, is it, so I have to give it details basically, right? So it has to be details, and this has to be details node. I guess this is what you're telling me, right? I mean, I'm not familiar with the custom event spec. It seems like it's a native class actually. Yeah, there we go. WebDN, sorry, MDN, custom events. Da-da-da, Proteus. Yeah, okay, so it has to be in a detail. It was my own screw up here in this case. Why did I refresh it one more time? What is taking so long, actually? I mean, I guess it's... Okay, DOM repeat is taking a lot of time from unpkg for whatever reason. It's just 333 bytes, but it takes 10 seconds to load. Oh my god. That is definitely not efficient. Okay. One more 3 to 1. Click and cannot read property note of undefined. What did I do wrong? Dispatch events detail. Oh, yeah. Did I type details? I think yes, I did. Okay, so it's my own fault. And this should be detail notes. There we go. Okay, one more try. I think we are like 95% there already. So we just need to render the nodes and then we're done. But this is not an experience I would want to repeat. That was way too damn painful. Z, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and okay, there's our detail. Detail is our note. Right, okay, so this should be it. And I think that actually fixes everything, right? So I think this is it. Come on now. Hey, it works. Okay, cool. And now once we click on that, right, okay, so the links are a bit broken right now, so that should be hash. Okay, reload that. Notes, and why is there no note ID? Okay, so links are a bit broken right now, but I don't remember, like, why are they broken? Oh, because it is underscore ID, right? Okay, so there we go, and that should do it. Come on now. Okay, cool. So this actually works, and there's our note page. Okay. So this means the last thing we have to do is tweak our note page and also pass this ID to the note page. And to do that, we need our app here, right? So we get this ID from here. We're gonna say this note ID is ID, right? So we're gonna store it in our state, basically. This note ID. Okay, cool. Oh boy, okay, and then here node ID is gonna be a node ID, so we're just gonna pass it as a prop, which means we need to receive the prop here. And how do I do that? So we need properties. Shadow DOM declaring properties, there we go. So we want to say static property return. Yeah, okay, so you can basically define the properties in a static manner. And it's literally just nodes ID is going to be a string. Okay. And then I think I should be able to just do that, right? So if I do this and then we reload, we should see the no. Okay. How do I access them? Blah blah blah, property name. So how do I this user? How do I access it in a template? How do I get properties? Okay, I mean we are using the node component, right? And then nodes. Okay, let me just do that. Nodes page. Yes, okay, so this is the right component. Node ID, we defined that. So why is it not node ID? No. Oh, this is probably why, right? No, that's actually not a thing anyway. Okay. Let's see if the node ID actually gets assigned. Yes, it does. Okay, so the node ID is assigned. It's for whatever reason is not passed to the child component. Okay. Mode type string, type data, object, type string. Okay. Default. Okay, so you can assign default value in a constructor. Let's try. I mean, is it required? Constructor super this node ID. Okay, empty. Is gonna fix it? No, it is not, right? So it's still empty. What am I missing? Maybe it should be a dash. You think so? Notify true. Read only properties. Blah blah blah. Load it. Oh. Okay. I like this. The whole syntax with 25 different braces is confusing as hell, to be honest. No, that is not correct. Can I? Is that like? I am like, no, this should be right? And then this also should be. Whoa, whoops. So if I say like default ID here, that should work, right? So we should see the default ID now. Yes. Okay. So so basically, it doesn't get passed in for whatever reason. And there's no examples on how to pass that because, of course, there are none. User's code. Okay, so this is how you pass the value. I mean, I guess it's, yeah, maybe it lower cases them. Maybe you are right. But it shouldn't, because they use the uppercase here. Oh, okay. So, oh my God, why? So you can define a property with camel case in static properties, but then when you pass it, instead of camel case, you should use keep uppercase, which, why? Okay. So this should pass it. Yeah, okay, there we go. That actually works, but holy shit. Who thought that was a good idea? Why is this a decision? Like, oh my God, okay. Right, okay, there we go. There's our node page. Okay, so add node is something we implemented. So we literally have one more thing to do, which is this one. And this is our, yeah, so we need this query here. We need the request. And then finally, we need that node here. So we need to load that node. Okay, how do you... So one thing, I mean, I guess ready would be okay. So this node ID. Ta-da-da, we do that. This node 1, yes, okay. And then... so let me just do this. I'm just basically going to render it as a string. So we can actually see that it loads it correctly and renders it, right? I think that should do it. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So that actually works as expected. Thank God something works as expected. Okay, yeah, right. We just need to render it basically and we are done here. So yeah, okay. So app nodes. If there is, all right, you cannot just do that. You have to do the whole, yeah, not exactly amazing dev experience. Again, you know, there's partially it is because there's no like auto suggestions or anything like that because we are loading everything from Content Delivery Network. On the other hand, some of those patterns are just like, why? Why is this a thing? Okay, can I just do that or do I have to define a helper function for this? Okay. Yes, and then if it is not undefined. Yeah, I haven't actually checked if that works after fixing the whole thing with the imports. But no, that's definitely an experience I would not want to repeat anytime soon. And Stencil looks like a very nice framework right now. Okay, so we need to say node name, node body. Okay, we do not need to print this ID now. There we go. Okay, I think that should work if it understands those conditions, and it doesn't. Oh my God. Is node defined? Node. Return node. Okay. Undefined. Right, so... Oh boy, yeah, that is... It's a really, really weird dev experience in 2020. Is no nodes, let's call it this way. Nodes, yes. It's like, I'm guessing I cannot even use this exclamation mark there. Why is it stop rendering anything? It does load the data. I imported the DOM if. What's going on now? Oh no. Okay, so we actually don't need that. Why is it not rendering anything anymore? Because, no, that shouldn't matter, right? No, that should be dynamic because the node is dynamic. Oh god, you can't even do conditional rendering in a simple manner here. Okay. Oh yeah, right. That's not gonna work because I'm stringifying it, so that's one thing. So it doesn't render loading for some reason. I guess undefined. Oh, right, because it's not actually undefined. That is why it's okay. So it was my own fault. No, it still doesn't render loading. Okay, so what if I wait a second? I'm really curious. Does it render loading? Because I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't render loading. No notes. Oh, no, yes, this is correct, right? You know what? It's fine, whatever. It's not like we have to render loading state anyway. I honestly don't have any power left to fight with this. But it does load the data and it actually does render the, oh god, it removed the request again. There you go. Okay, so now we can actually, sorry, what now? Why is that the same note every time? Oh, you are absolutely right. There is, oh, node ID, yes. So this note, but it should be undefined anyway, right? I think. Do you think that's why? So basically, if it's not initialized at all, it's just not gonna do anything? That's even more weird. Let's try. So I've initialized it. Is that? No, it still doesn't render anything. But on dynamic navigation, it actually does. Oh, because the ready is triggered only once. So we need a different lifecycle method. Initializing it didn't help. I honestly don't know why that is a problem. Yeah, let's try defines. Is that gonna work? Nope. Doesn't work. Okay, so we need to figure out the lifecycle method. Custom element concepts. We need the lifecycle. Where was the lifecycle? Yes, and connected maybe. Connected. There we go. So now the only problem is that I basically should re-render correctly on page change. And this is not the correct method. Attribute, oh yeah, attribute change callback. That should work, right? So because we are passing the note as a different attribute. Nope. That does not work. How is there no like render callback or whatever? Connected callback ready. DOM templating. After you have helper. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Let's use a weird helper function in constructor, because apparently that's how it works. Okay, so we got this render status thing. Why is it not a lifecycle method? That is weird. Okay, so we got this on PKG. And now here we call this after next render. And then it's this, and then it does a callback. And then in this callback, it should do... This is such a weird API. Okay, so this stuff. Are we working now? Unexpected reserved word. Where exactly? Undefined this. Oh, did I not close something? No, that seems fine, right? So what are you not happy about? Super 28 node. Oh, right. It's supposed to be a sync. That's true. Here we go. Okay, so let's see. Test node that loads. No, that still doesn't. After next, okay, what other tools does it provide? Because after next render seems to only trigger once. Render. Before, after render queue, export flush. Before next render. Exports, okay. Use a callback which will be run before the next render. So it's only once? Callback which will be run after the next render according to the set timeout after the request animation callback. This method is useful for tuning the first render. Apologies, I have to open the door. Let me just nudge someone to open the door. I'll be back in a second. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so this is only run once. So does that mean you have to like do it? Wait a second. So do I have to do this in the ready? This is confusing. Like, how the hell? Is it on ready? Super ready. So if I queue it over here, will it do it on every callback? No. I have no idea how to refresh the data here. Okay, let's see. So what is the defer non-critical work? That's not what I need. I need to update stuff on every render. Sharing code using mixins. Oh god, it has mixins. Get observers. Okay. Attribute change. When any of the elements attributes are changed. Okay, so this seems like the attribute change should be exactly what we want, right? So here's the question. Kill that. I remove this for now. Okay. Console log. Attribute change. This. Okay. Like, it feels like the attribute change is exactly what we want. But it doesn't seem to trigger it all, even though we pass it different attributes. I guess the attributes are not properties, is what? Used to handle attribute changes. So is attributes properties or is it something different? Your element is rendered once on a page, then via router you change the parameter. Yes, I mean, I thought attribute change was the parameter change, but I guess it's not. So attributes are different from Oh, my head. Okay, declare properties. Then you observe properties. That's a different question. So like connected callback, configuring deserializer. I mean, I guess I could configure deserializer, but that feels like a hacky way of doing it. It's just like terrible. Property change notification events. So I guess I could do this and say read only notify true, right? Which means that okay, so there's our no wait, that's not here, it's in here. So I can say that this is type string read only true notify. And how do I response handler response this set response? When a property produces data, it never consumes data. Read only set property convention. Oh, God, those conventions. Okay. Oh, you got to reflect property to attribute. So properties and attributes are indeed different. And you have to do this for property to be updated, I guess, to attribute automatically. Is that what happens? Okay, and then now I guess this attribute callback will start triggering. Holy shit. Okay, this is not like, why is... okay, I have a lot of questions about that. Okay, anyway, I think now it should find... No, okay, request... Oh, God, okay, request is not defined again. Please, VS Code, stop deleting stuff, I need it. Okay, another test node, there we go, yes, okay, it actually worked. Finally, almost 2 hours later, we defeated the web components and no, you know what? I mean, I will obviously commit all of that. So we no longer need the old source. It looks like shit, but I honestly don't have any energy left to actually update it. Rewrite to use ES modules and Polymer. But yeah, that was... I guess that was an experience that basically tells me to never ever use Polymer. Yes, it does show the old node because it basically, I guess the old state persists, but I honestly don't have energy to like clean up or do the rendering states or whatever. Just screw this. No. I like, okay, the web components are not as bad as they were like 4 or 5 years ago when I tried it. But they are still in the place where I just don't want to touch them, and I don't really see the reason to pick them over React or literally anything else, to be honest. Like, even Stencil was a like miles better experience than this, and it allows you to opt out of Shadow DOM, which is also kind of cool. Yeah, if you build more than one website using it, this could be better next time. Yes and no, because like, how would you, like, I mean, this, it's just not a nice experience. Like, overall, I didn't enjoy it at all. Like, this was not, it's not something I would want to do on a daily basis, basically, you know? Writing React, writing Vue, writing even Angular, it's nice, it's comfortable, it has tooling around it. There's like a lot of cool, fun stuff, and this is just painful. Okay, let me update the README. Like, if you guys have any questions or suggestions or things you want to ask me about this painful experience, do feel free to throw them into the chat right now while I'm updating it. Polymer. So ES modules, Polymer, and web components for basic blah blah blah. They're gonna get used with ES modules. Vanilla JS web app with web components. Probably should stick to one way to capitalize this. What was the URL for it? It should be in the Discord, right? Oh boy, yeah, okay, let's not do this again, please. That's enough of web components for me for 2020. No, ES modules and HTML imports are two different things. So HTML imports is for web components and ES modules is for JavaScript. Although you can import web components via ES modules if they are purely defined in JavaScript. Okay, showing how to build a simple notes app using ES modules, Polymer, and web components. Okay, ES modules, I guess would be fair to reference them here. So I guess MDN, does MDN has a good article on that? Probably does. Cartoon deep dive. That's not exactly what I want. I want a spec or something. Exploring ES modules. Okay, MDN. I know what I'm looking for. There we go. JavaScript modules. Okay. That's fine. Okay, cool. So that is okay. Right. I also see. Yeah, seems like I'm not going to be using Yarn anymore as well. Apologies, because it's just easier to use new npm because it's like 10 times faster. Okay, so update the README. All right, update README. Okay, git push -u origin vanilla. I mean, vanilla.js can be a very nice experience, especially with ES modules, so you can just, you know, import everything from wherever you want, but web components are not. Absolutely, like, this was yikes. No. Okay, so we did that. We got another branch here. I guess I should update the README with links to 2 different branches. Okay, let me think. So I don't actually need a whole ton of this stuff. I can kill all of the folders, node modules, schema. So I actually don't need anything but README in this case, right? So I can give it okay, license can stay, that's fine. Package JSON, stencil, tsconfig. Okay, editor config, prettier. Okay, so let's kill all the files. Just trying out web components for basic building simple graphic app, base node apps with various web component technologies. And then I just basically link it to stencil, polymer, and vanilla versions, right? And then just link to the corresponding branches, and I think we are good. Okay. Cool. Let's see, okay, link to corresponding branches with projects from master. Okay. It's let me see. What about lit HTML? Did you try before? I mean, I've seen it, so it seems like lit HTML is very, very lightweight, and it only does so much. It's like let's have a look. I'm curious. So basically, lit HTML. The problem. So what we need is two-way data bindings, reaction to property changes, and event dispatching. Right. So this was the three things. Okay, let's see, writing templates. So this is, yeah, so the templating looked fine. So, I mean, we use the lit HTML inside the Polymer, so Polymer relies on it. So we already did that basically. Okay, so you can just use functions to render stuff. Can you use other components that are nested? That's the question number one. Okay, there's completely different syntax for event bindings, because of course it does, even though it's the library from the same team. I don't know how that works. Okay, so render the nested components in the same way. That seems okay. Conditionals are easier. Okay, that's a good start. I don't know why they opted in for doing conditionals the way they did. Okay, so you can just use JavaScript to render arrays, which is also nicer. Rendering templates, template syntax. So it doesn't seem like it handles... So like this looks is a very nice rendering way, right? But it doesn't handle everything else, such as the local state, the events, properties, and so on and so forth, which would mean we have to write a framework around it, right? So as a rendering mechanism, it seems very nice. But yeah, it's like, Jesus. The whole ecosystem feels like a bit of a mess. HTML import is to import component from HTML. Yes, modules is to import components from JS. Yes, pretty much this is like the gist of it. I don't even know if HTML imports are... Does anyone still use them? Like they exist basically, but they are obsolete. So HTML imports is obsolete right now, and I guess nobody uses them anymore. There's your answer. So it's like it's an outdated thing, and lit element uses HTML imports. Are you sure? That doesn't sound right. I mean, the lit element is built upon the web component spec, so it shouldn't actually use... okay, I did that. I did push it to master, right? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I did. So lit element should build upon the web components specs, which is the templates and shadow DOM and custom elements and all that other stuff, right? So it shouldn't use HTML imports. Lit HTML, blah, blah, blah. So it uses lit element. Where did you find that it uses HTML imports? Because I don't... It seems like it's all pure JavaScript, and it basically uses lit HTML for rendering. Does have events that we are talking about. Yeah, lit element has those events, but like lit element is basically the same as polymer element, so it's like, you know, there's not too much difference. And again, not a fan of the documentation and API they have, so it's like a bit painful, just a tiny bit. Beta launch scheduled for next Wednesday. I'm assuming, Carlos, you were talking about your own products. Well, then good luck with building that, because launches are always tough. Okay, so we should have now a README that points to the other versions. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, that's basically it from my side. So that was extremely painful 2 hours. Oh, Remix! Yes! Oh man, I am very excited about that. I'm definitely going to do a stream on Remix. this is one of the few upcoming React libraries that are really, really exciting, because so far all the previews they've shown, and I follow I think pretty much the whole team on Twitter, were really awesome. Like, this is gonna be very cool. So yes, we are definitely gonna have a Remix stream at one point, and hopefully the experience is gonna be a lot nicer. We can see that on your face. All right then. Okay, any more questions, suggestions, or things you want to discuss, guys? If not, we can just wrap it up here, and then basically, yeah, continue on Saturday with BXJS Weekly, and next Wednesday, hopefully, with Remix. We're going to see how that goes. I'll give you a couple of seconds to decide. As usual, you can find the whole source code on GitHub. You can join our Discord server if you have any other questions and didn't get a chance to ask them now, or wanted to ask them anyway, or need some help. And yeah, that's basically it from my side. Doesn't seem like we have any more questions or suggestions, so thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching me suffer all this time, and yeah, I guess I'll see you on Saturday for BXJS Weekly.